This is the Davos AI conference, it feels like. And from a meta perspective, 25 is going to be a big year for us as we continue to build out some of the most exciting, innovative technologies, including AI at the heart of everything we're doing. Developing the future of social media, the next computing platform with our AI glasses, and of course the performance of our advertising as well. And we're seeing extraordinary results across all of those different areas. When I think about how AI is powering our advertising tools now, on average we're seeing up to a 25% increase on return on ad spend as a result of what the AI is now able to do for advertiser performance. So there's a lot of innovation here.
And that will continue to increase. Do you see the US just going ahead in terms of deregulation for AI, Europe increasing regulation, and so some of the products you won't be able to roll out in Europe?
Yeah, that's certainly the case that we're seeing, and just being on the ground and being able to talk with European business leaders, I'm sensing even a greater sense of frustration this year versus last year. I mean, we saw the Draghi report at the end of last year talking about the real difference now between the US and the European economy in terms of where things are. Europe hasn't created a single $100 billion business in the period, whereas the US now has $6 trillion businesses. And Meta is one of those. And the frustration they're telling me is the over-complication of regulation, over 100 different rules, 270 different regulators. And what this is meaning now is it's really playing a huge toll, a real cost, both on businesses but also people as well. So yes, I think that's a challenge here.
But Nicola, does it mean, for example, on the fact-checking, the fact that you now have gone to third party, in Europe you still need to fact-check. So could you have fact-checks on politicians for European viewers and not in the US?
So one of the things that we shared, as you said at the beginning, is that we are moving away from the way that we were utilizing third-party independent fact-checkers and moving now to much more of a community notes program. We're starting that in the US, and then we'll see how that goes as we move it out over the years. So nothing changing in the rest of the world at the moment. We're still working with those fact-checkers around the world, but in the US, that's the direction of travel to start with.
I mean, there's a lot of people that are worried, of course, about fake news, disinformation. Are you taking steps to either see how it goes and then be able to roll it back, or are you keeping an open mind about what the end game is?
No, we want to be very clear. There's still no place on the platform for things that would cause real-world harm, terrorism, drug trafficking, child exploitation. We don't want any of that on the platform. What Mark's committed to, and always has been from the very earliest days of Facebook, is the ability to create platforms for free expression. And so he actually did a speech back in 2019 in Georgetown where he set out that direction to encourage more discourse, to encourage more debate, and that's where we're going.
So I know you've also been a long-time advocate of diversity and inclusion. How does that match up with some of the DEI things that you stopped doing?
Well, I think you can see and you can observe that we're certainly in a changing political and societal changes in the US right now. So we have stopped our DEI programs. But what hasn't stopped is our commitment to bringing the very best talent from very different types of communities around the world in order that we can serve our 3.2 billion people in the best way possible.
How will you monetize Threads? Is that one of the things that you're focusing on for 2025?
So we're very excited about Threads. Threads now has, look at you smiling, 300 million users. We've got 100 million users coming onto the platform every single day now. So we're excited to see the trajectory, but nothing to share with you quite yet.
Okay, what does it mean quite yet? And maybe
well,
in a couple
nothing
of months?
to share with you, but you know how these things work, that we want to get out to a place that we've done with all of our platforms where we put it out for people first, and then we come and think about monetization after.
I mean, a lot of my social media space is on what's happening with TikTok and the fact that they went dark and now they're back on, that President Trump is trying to save them. How much of a difference or how much of your efforts are you spending trying to understand what it means, for example, if it gets sold to Elon Musk?
So, I mean, this is a very fast-moving, space. And as a company, we've always welcomed competition. I think that's a good thing. I think it's a healthy thing for the environment, for the eco space. I've got our teams focusing on making sure the advertisers know the amazing products that we have. But you saw probably also that Adam Mosseri, our head of Instagram, he launched Edit just a few days ago. And that's exciting because that allows creators to have many more tools to be able to create the content that they want to get out to their communities. So we're excited to see that launch.
What are advertisers saying right now? Are they feeling good about 2025? Were they spending? Were they spending less?
So the advertisers that I'm talking to, when they're talking talking to me, they want to focus on growth. I think there's probably a bit more optimism in the US on the outlook in terms of how things are versus what's going on in Europe, and that reflects what I shared earlier. But they're saying that, we're really helping them to deliver the growth, and that's not a surprise in terms of what we see. We're giving them more tools, generative AI tools that we're giving to them now. And that's seeing some great results. So we've now got 1 million advertisers that are using our Gen AI tools, and they're creating, on average, about 15 million pieces of content every single month now. So more to come on that, but I also think about things like Reels. Advertisers are really leaning into Reels. More than 50% of the time spent on the platform now is through Reels, and again, that's AI powering that recommendation system. So there's lots of excitement for advertisers with us.
Have any advertisers said they worry about the fact-checking changes coming up?
Actually, what advertisers are saying to us, that they've been very reassured by the brand safety tools that we've put in place, a number of years ago. And we've reassured and given commitment that we're absolutely continuing to invest in this area so that advertisers are in control of where they do or don't want to put their advertising.
I mean, do they worry about brand reputation, or are there some conversations that are going behind closed doors that that you're trying to find a way of reassuring them on some of the maybe specifics that they worry?
So we've spoken about what hasn't changed. The commitments that will still be transparent in what we publish in our community standards report. The fact that they have those brand safety tools to be able to utilize if they want to, and then ultimately any advertiser should really judge you also by the growth and the performance that you're delivering, and on the innovation. And so one of the things they're really leaning in at the moment is on business messaging, which is really a revolutionary way to be able to connect with consumers. And when you bring AI in on the top of that, which we're starting to do now, we're seeing tremendous responses for advertisers. And the whole area of AI assistance, I mean, Meta AI now has 600 million monthlies that are coming on, well on its way to being the most utilized assistant on the planet, which is really exciting. Then you think to 25, we're going to be investing more in voice and investing more to make them more personalized, so they feel more like you can choose the tone and the way of being. And advertisers are really excited in this area as well, because that means they can enhance the customer service, they can enhance, the information backwards and forwards, even when their businesses are closed, can have that 24/7 going on. So a lot to be excited about.
So Nicole, what does that look like? So is it a business account that speaks to me personally, or is it an influencer the sky's the limit really on how you can go forward with this?
Yeah, so the way that we're utilizing it at the moment is through businesses that are already using our click-to messaging applications. And that can be on WhatsApp, or it can be on Instagram Direct, or it can be on Messenger. And then you can literally have an assistant on the side. And they're getting more and more sophisticated. But we're seeing really strong results from the advertisers in terms of the customer service, the customer enhancement that they see. And yes, you're right, the sky is going to be the limit in terms of how those are going to evolve. And we think ultimately that people won't just have one assistant for themselves personally. And businesses will probably play around also with different ones depending on what you're looking for. So this is a really innovative way, and we're seeing around the world that rest of the world's really embracing this. In the US, we're seeing that WhatsApp now is over 100 million users, and so it's our fastest growing region here.
They're starting. I mean, I feel like they're starting, but in Europe we use WhatsApp for so much.
And for much longer as well.
Is that cultural?
And also, if you go to Asia, I mean, the utilization in Asia of how businesses and people are communicating, we're seeing over 600 million business conversations every single day between business and people. I mean, that's huge. And they're doing everything from buying life insurance, buying, metro tickets, to buying shopping and buying clothes.
And Nicola, Mark Zuckerberg also said that actually there's more masculine energy that is needed. Do you feel that at Meta?
No, I think, I've been at Meta, I'm going into my 12th year now. The Mark Zuckerberg that I work for, I've had an environment where I've grown. I've seen the women around me grow. And so I think it's a fantastic place for people that are looking to be in their career, that want to build the most innovative, the most exciting, cutting-edge things like Orion. I mean, we're demoing Orion here, which is our first holographic augmented reality glasses. It's like seeing the future. You'll have to come and try it.